Hello, my name is Miguel from the Mobile Mechanic 757. In this video, we're going to talk about how we deal with customers who don't want to pay. I have my notes, so let's begin. Number one, after you get your quote, we do not make any appointments for you. We actually refer you to our website. You have to make your own appointment on our website. Also on our website, we have some of our policies and procedures, which is pretty much boundaries of how we do things. So before we even get there, we already have our boundaries set up. Number two, when we show up, we're going to show up with a tablet, which is our Apple, and everything that we do, we're going to type it because it's going to be on software. It's not going to be handwritten or looking up in the sky. After we get your pertinent information, we're going to get your vehicle's information, your VIN number, your tag, your license plates, what's your mileage, and all that great stuff. Before we do any work, we also have an InDepth, and this is $5. If you want it for yourself, mobile mechanics, because you really do need it. We have our policies, our warranties, our requirements, and our disclaimers. And all this basically is boundaries. And also it has where the customer has to initial it. And on the very last page, we have all their vehicle information and everything that we need to have. On this, it talks about the warranty. It talks about the diagnostics. So you're not going to ask us to do a whole bunch of diagnostics for the price of one. It doesn't work that way. We'll give you a discount. It's all right here. If you make any kind of hostile threats or just be hostile, whatever the case may be, it pretty much speaks for itself. And we give a customer a copy of this, and we have their signature. So that's one line of defense for us. Also, if their vehicle is dangerous or they're doing something they should not be doing, or the vehicle shouldn't be on the road, we get them to sign this automobile repair release of liability. This is also $5. All this stuff is customizable. It's all in Microsoft format, so you can edit it for your own business and whatever your state's applicable laws are. You have to have black and white. There's no getting around that. Word of mouth means absolutely nothing in the court system, trust me. So if we have to have them to sign this, we're going to get them to sign this. There is no ifs and buts about it. Also, our Alltel 906, when we do the diagnostic, we put all the information inside here. This also stores what the computer saw for the diagnostic, and we print it out and give it to the customer. So that's another layer. Also, when our job is the beginning of the job, we take pictures. The middle of the job, we take pictures, and then we take pictures after the fact. We take pictures with the parts side by side. So there won't be no, oh, well, you didn't do it, or whatever the case may be. The courts don't care how you feel. They want to know about the black and white. Number three, we're professional. And we put whatever you're saying to us, we're going to put in the final work order. And you're going to have to, and for you to sign it, saying that you're satisfied and all that great stuff. The point of my story is it's all about black and white, black and white, black and white. Documentation. So if you say, well, I didn't change my oil for 6 months, it's going to be on that work order in the notes, literally, because you're not going to be able to come back and say, oh, well, the car wasn't doing this. Well, you're the one that told us this is what you did. So black and white, black and white, black and white. And then with the pictures, we have pictures. And on the pictures, they have a timestamp, a date, and longitude and latitude, just in case somebody says, oh, well, you edited and all this stuff. No, we didn't do any of that kind of stuff. That's what we do. And we keep a copy of it. And when we do our Google ads, some of it will be up there, what we did. And we also keep a storage for ourselves. We don't put everything on Google, but we, for the most part, whatever the job was, let the public know what we did and didn't do. We also have Facebook group. We also have Facebook business. And we also have Google. We also have the website. And of course, we're doing YouTube. So we keep very good documentation, whatever is going on. And that's what you're supposed to do. Number four, you let them know there's a mechanic lien, point blank. And that goes back to this right here. When you're doing your estimate, there's going to be a mechanic lien, just like in a shop. They got to sign it, hand your keys over to you. Also, before we do the job, on the very last one, it talks about the mechanic lien and getting our money. We're not giving your keys back until you pay. And some states, the police is going to make you give the keys back. You let them know, well, here's your keys, but there's a mechanic lien going to be put on your vehicle. And you have a great day. You don't argue, you don't go around in circles, and you just get in your vehicle and you go about your business and you let the courts decide what happens. Ever since we've been doing this for the last 6 months, we haven't had anybody to take to court. Everybody pays, everybody understands, and they really enjoy us coming to them and saving them money and time and giving them the attention and all the options that we give them. We don't have any issues, but you have the very small few that does. Before we had this, we had a lot of drama in the business. We didn't know sometimes if we were going to get paid. Some people were trying to get a diagnostic for free, or they were telling us how much they're going to pay, or we felt like we were at some kind of a flea market and they're negotiating what we're going to do and how much we should get paid, but they don't do it to their own paycheck. Number 5, take them to court. Point blank. You have all the information, take them to court. First, what you want is the money and the court cost of whatever the work order is. After you get that judgment against them, you're going to go back to court, you get a lawyer or whatever you want to do for yourself, and then you do the mechanic lien. No ifs, ands, no buts about it. Don't argue with them, don't send in no threats, don't do anything. It's against the law anyway. But you be professional, and this is what you do. Ever since we've been doing this, we haven't had any issues with anybody at all. Everybody's paid. There's no payment arrangements, none of that stuff. And if they do come out their mouth and say something about payment arrangements or whatever, you tell them no. We don't do that. And it's not your job to do that. You're here to do a job and get paid. Number 6, we have a dash cam. We're in the 757 area in Virginia. And Virginia is a one consent state. As long as you are part of the recording and it's in public, you can record them. On our vehicle, we have a dash cam that does audio and visual. And we'll let the customer know, hey, you're being recorded, so you kind of want to think about what you're saying. With that being the case, if they call the police or do something crazy against you, your dash cam will speak for itself. If you feel that you're really in danger, on the iPhone that we have a new iPhone, we just press the volume and the power button on the side, and it'll start a countdown calling the police. And now the great new feature is they don't even know the countdown is even happening. You do. And now the police has the GPS where you're at, just in case something happened. Ever since we've been doing this, we haven't had any issues with nobody. I have a military background, so I really don't have problems with people. But, you got some bad apples who want to push the boundaries. You do not allow anybody to reinvent the wheel of what procedures you have. No one's an exception to the rules. Without these rules and everything else, everything is in free fall. There is no foundation of nothing. You stick to whatever it is that you got going on and you move forward. And at the end of the day, if you got to take them to court, you take them to court. Even if it's for a small amount, the principle is you got to hold people accountable because they're going to hold you accountable. So this is the ways that we deal with people who don't want to pay. We don't have these issues no more. And number 7, which is a bonus, when you do anything with our business, majority of our stuff is prepaid except the labor itself. So if you want a pre-purchase inspection, you're prepaying it. There is no reason for us to worry about if we're getting paid. If you wanted an AC diagnostic or regular diagnostic, all that stuff is prepaid. This is how we do it since November, when our drama just went completely out the door, except that one person. And he didn't want to sign, so I took it out of his hand and walked away and blocked him and moved on. People sometimes try to bait you in, arguing with you to get you to record you to say something, or try to, be the villain, and they all of a sudden want to be the victim because they're pushing your buttons. Just walk away, move on. Business is business. People are going to be people. Take them to court, and now they're going to see somebody in a black robe. They're not going to be able to do that anymore. So the point of the story is you got to have black and white to cover your behind. You have to have your boundaries. You have to have standards, and it's just the way it is. And if they don't like how you do things, or whatever the case may be, they can go somewhere else. And going back to prepaying everything, when they go to prepay it online, they literally have to check mark a box that talks about the cancellations and everything else. Otherwise, they can't prepay for it. Point blank, if they're paying with a credit card, they're going to be invested, and you got your money for whatever it is, and then the labor itself, you tell them how much the labor is, and then, you know, if it's over a certain amount, you ask for half it up front. You got to protect yourself. But the way we do things, and you can go to our website, themobilemechanic757.com, and you see exactly how we have everything set up. And we have it completely streamlined, and we protect ourselves and we protect our behind. And if you don't want to pay, your car won't stay. You're going to court. With that being said, if you like these videos, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.